Hello, Aquariuses. This is Tiger Lilith Tarot. Thanks for joining me on my channel. This is specifically a birthday reading for Aquarius suns. I try and do this with every sign. So, Aquarius, I'm going to apologize off the bat. I pulled your cards. I clarified. I have the clarifying cards over here. Recorded your whole video. The program I used didn't record it, but this felt like the correct reading. I did not want to redo it because this reading felt like it was your birthday reading. So I've left the cards out here. I'm going to go over what placements they are in, and then I will show you guys the clarifying cards as well. All right, Aquariuses, and as a happy birthday gift to you all, if anyone is interested in a personal reading, the first Aquarius that I hear from, that I get an email from, will get a free personal reading on Zoom, either live or pre-recorded. So go ahead and shoot me an email. My email address is in the description box below if you are interested in a personal reading. It can be any kind of reading, general, finance, love, career, whatever your heart desires, Aquarius. It's your birthday, all right? So we're going to go over this reading here that I did for you all because it might look a little strange, some of the cards out here, some of you that know tarot, but this was such a good, positive reading, Aquarius. So what we've got here in your first placement, it represents last year. We have the Strength card, right? Leo's card. This is your sister sign of Leo. Leo, fire sign, right? You're the air sign. You guys are both the fixed signs of action in the Zodiac. So what I picked up from here, Strength coming out represents last year, your last, I almost said lunar year, not lunar, your last trip around the sun, right? Then not the year, calendar year, but we're talking about your birthday, Aquarius specific year. It was challenging. You had to be very patient here is what I picked up with Strength immediately, which the Strength card is not always about patience. But that's what I got immediately from here. And you really had to hold your tongue is what I felt in a lot of situations. And you had to be there were a lot of situations in your life that called on you to be brave and courageous with this energy here. But you did it, and you probably took a different approach to things, to issues, to situations, to conflict. I imagine you took a different approach this past year than possibly you ever have before. Because this feels like new energy. You were really tapped into, you were being informed by your higher consciousness here especially, right? Yellow is about us being tapped into something higher than ourselves, being connected to it. And as you can see, the Strength card, she's surrounded by yellow, which is a protection of sorts because as you can also see, she's a human who's trying to stick her hand in a lion's mouth. But the lion is letting her. That's a thing, right? This is an unusual situation here. So I feel like you tried new things, new for you, processes when it comes to crisis or completing tasks. You're a fixed sign, Aquarius, so new can have a sense of fear to it. That's maybe part of where the bravery came in. But beautiful card for last year. I feel like you persevered through a lot. Five of Swords came out for what to let go of / what will not serve you. What I picked up from this energy is what to let go of is trying to, and I think you kind of already let go of this through last year's lesson. I feel like last year was a lesson of sorts with this card, and it's almost like by default you already know that arguing back and forth with people is not the answer. Because the Five of Swords can be a card of using sort of underhanded tactics to get your way, or that someone is going to come out the winner and someone is going to come out losing with the Five of Swords. There is no option in between. There is no middle road. So I feel like what to let go of / what will not serve you is being incredibly black and white with things. It's either yes or no. There are only two options, right? Sometimes that is true when you get right down to the nitty gritty of things, but taking a more nuanced approach to situations, to people, just in life in general, you'll see that you can find a third option, right? And I feel like that's where to go. What's not going to serve you this year is looking at things in an incredibly black and white way, in a win or lose type of way. Right? You can still find wins in the losses. This Five of Swords cannot, but you can, Aquarius. But I feel almost like you intuitively know that, or are already kind of moving that way. Represents your new year. I love the King of Swords came up. This is your energy, Aquarius. The King of Swords is Aquarius's court card in particular, right? So represents the new year. It's you represent your new year. I feel like your voice is going to be very strong. You're going to be able to speak with a clarity and with an authority. I feel people listening to you, people following you with this card, and this bringing a lot of success. It's what this felt like. I remember when I pulled it out and did the reading, is like this throne has always been sitting here, and now you're finally like taking your rightful place in it, you know? It's almost like you've been very conscientious that maybe you didn't belong in the throne yet, you weren't developed enough or matured enough or whatever the situation might be, that you didn't feel like you could sit comfortably in the throne. And I'm not talking, sometimes you did, sometimes you didn't, right? But this is representing your new year. So I feel like the entire year you are comfortable sitting in this throne and giving orders to a certain extent. Some of you might become a boss, you might get a promotion, but I feel like this is you just really taking control, being in your own energy, loving your own energy, and I said speaking with a clarity, and also an integrity, holding yourselves with integrity, with dignity. Not that you weren't before, but it's highlighted this year, right? This is what's representing your whole year. The King of Swords, you love it. Then we have your unexpected surprise or gift is the Queen of Pentacles. This immediately felt like you being able to take care of yourself as a surprise, unexpected gift. And I don't mean that you haven't been able to take care of yourself, Aquarius, don't get me wrong, but there's some sort of prosperity. This might even be an inheritance. It could be, I remember when I was doing the reading live, which I really wish it picked up. Again, I'm so sorry. I hate to do this with the cards put out, but we're working through it. You could even get an inheritance, in particular from your maternal side. Mother, aunt, great aunt, grandmother, somewhere along those lines. But more so, it's about you, right? Because here you're elevating, there's some sort of elevation. You're elevating this year. Something happens that elevates you. Something might not even have to happen. You just, again, that something happening might just be you being like, oh, yep, this is where I belong, and sitting down in the throne. It could be as simple as that. So the thing that's happening, right, like I said, there's something about you being a leader here, either leading your own business, a promotion, a raise, people listening to you. Somehow this causes your wealth and abundance to increase. It might not be in a way where you are directly start making more money. Like, that's not the only way that abundance and opportunity can come to us. You might be doing some sort of trade-off with things. You know, maybe you provide a service. I don't know. Maybe you're an accountant. Maybe you're an independent contractor who's an accountant and you do people's taxes. And you've really been, I don't know, needing to get a tooth cleaning. And so, but you're like, God, I can't afford it. But you know what? I'll do your taxes if you do this thing for me. Or that's a silly, but you see what I'm saying? There's bartering. Somehow you are more abundant and more prosperous this year. And it allows you to take care of yourself, your environments. And I mean that in a literal and kind of figurative way. By your environment, I mean your own body, right? Like this environment, this vessel, right? Our insides, there's a whole environment going on around there. In there, I mean. And then your immediate environment? What is outside of you, where you live? So I feel like if you've been wanting to make an upgrade to where you live, I don't see you moving necessarily. I see you upgrading where you already are, being able to decorate the way you've wanted. Like I said, if some of you have been wanting to eat better or exercise, but you couldn't afford a gym and you're like, oh God, I can't afford, like this year, maybe you're able to afford the exercise equipment you've been wanting, so you can get a treadmill or a 4-in-1 workout deal that you can have in your home. There's an upgrade here, and you being able to finally care for yourself and your environments the way that you've been wanting to. All right. For here, we have your superpower for the new year. 5 of Cups. Kind of an odd card to come out, but I feel like what you are doing here is turning is a bit of turning water into wine. The 5 of Cups, there's a bitterness, there's grief, right? He's cloaked in black. It's almost like a mourning ceremony, it looks like. And he's looking at these 3 cups, pardon me, these 3 cups that have spilled here, and he's mourning them. He's sad about them. He's bitter that they've spilled, not looking behind him to the 2 cups he still has. So I feel like your superpower for this year is actually looking at those 2 cups and realizing that that there is life after loss. Perhaps you went through a very large loss this past year. I'm sorry if you did, Aquarius, but there's something about you getting over that this year. Your superpower is to transmute that sadness and that bitterness into hope. And being able to look to the future is how I'm seeing that. 10 of Swords coming out for a wish to make. Another kind of bizarre card to come out, right? For a wish for you to make for your birthday. What I read this as, and we're going to get to these clarifying cards here and you'll see more. There's cycles that have ended for you, right? We have the 6 of Pentacles underneath, a balance coming in, and then the Wheel of Fortune. Cycle, luck turning in your favor. So I feel like this 10 of Swords came out here to say that for a wish for you to make, Aquarius, is I feel like some of you are still holding on. There's some of you, not all of you, are holding on to the past. Acknowledge the end of a cycle. You have been betrayed, you've been hurt, you've been neglected. It all feels like by one entity to me. That doesn't necessarily mean one human being. It could be, 3 people working in a tandem, working together as one unit, as one entity. But it's over. It's done. And I feel like your wish to make is to actually internalize and behave as if it's done, because it is. I feel like this was the universe's way of coming out and saying that terrible cycle of betrayal is over, right? You can hope again. There's room for hope here for you in the grieving process, right? So kind of the wish for you, Aquarius, is to acknowledge and internalize that the pain is gone. Know that it's gone, right? And the knowing part is very important for you. That is, Aquarius, astrologically, that's your motto. I know, right? So you got to feel that it's gone. So whatever you can do in the 3-dimensional world to tell your body, your mind, your spirit that a negative cycle is over, that would be good for you. 1 second, some coffee. It's early here where I am. So we're going to get to these clarifying cards here. For strength, I pulled out the 2 of Cups, representing your last year. So again, difficult. You had to be very brave when it came to unions, when it came to people, possibly unions that you have had for a while, or unions that were trying to get you stuck. And I say that because this is a really interesting 2 of Cups card. the masculine of this energy is rooted in the ground, and the female, the feminine of the energy approaches the masculine, right? But he's not going anywhere. There's an odd message of codependence a little bit in this Two of Cups card to me, of the masculine kind of wanting to trap the feminine in this rootedness. And Aquarius says, you all are the individuals. I mean, we're all individuals, but of the Zodiac, you know, you very, very much value your individuality, right? It's part of why you're the aliens of the Zodiac. I love it. So, your last year, I feel like there could have been some, what shall we call them? Entanglements, as Jada Pinkett Smith called them, I think it was. So, something happened last year with you and your unions. It could have been romantic. Doesn't have to be. Or people were wanting romance from you and you didn't want to give it. Something along those lines. But I feel like the bravery here was strength. You had to break away from some unions. And some of them it took a little while. You had to be, I feel like some of you kind of had to be strategic about breaking away from, because there's this rootedness. And you see, it's hard to tell, but she has her foot underneath one of those roots, right? So it's this like, okay, it's a testing of the waters. But I feel like there were energies around you, again, perhaps masculine energies, that saw that little testing of the waters as you diving into the deep end. When you're like, no, 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 I just put my foot on the first step in the pool. I'm not in the deep end. Yeah. So, but that's your last year, right? That BS is over. With the Five of Swords, pardon me, the moon came out. So I feel like what to let go of, what will not serve you here too, is there are certain battles you were trying to fight without all of the information. Some of the information was being purposefully hidden from you. So you didn't have all the information going in. There's also a sense here of art of coming at situations from a strictly emotional place. And which is very unlike you, Aquarius, is, because you're an air sign, but who knows, whatever happened last year could have, again, with this energy here, I could see where you could have been more emotional than usual, or coming at situations with like almost like pure emotion, and the logic being in the background as opposed to in the forefront where it usually is with you. But again, that's what to let go of. So, and I feel like you already know this part. But yeah, what to let go of, entering into just honestly conflict whatsoever where there's going to be a yes or no. And those are going to be your only two options. Ugh. It's like you're done with that. It feels like immature energy too, that you're done with. This representing your new year. I love this. The Ace of Pentacles came out with the King of Swords, right? All these new opportunities are going to be coming to you. The universe is going to show you so many new opportunities, Aquarius, because you've taken your rightful place in the throne. Because you've done it, and you've stepped up and said, I'm ready. The universe is going to come at you and be like, oh, thank God, we've been waiting for this moment. Here, here, here. Like, new opportunities, right? And I have a few more cards from another deck that I clarified just a few of these on. I didn't have questions for all of them, but you'll see in a second. So with the Queen of Pentacles, we got the Eight of Swords, right? Now this is an interesting card to come out. Eight of Swords is very much being trapped in your head. But in this card in particular, there's her heart there, and it splits open in two, and you can right? So ostensibly, you could see inside, you could see her body, inside of her body. And again, that's why I'm really not taking this card literally here. Aquarius says, I'm an intuitive reader. I don't only read what the cards say. This is all about you taking care of yourself. I feel like this Eight of Swords came out to say, it's okay, it's time, you can look inside. Maybe quite literally, like maybe literally some of you have been needing an x-ray, or an MRI or something along those lines. There's something about caring for the body here that, and I feel like you've been trapped in your head. Like there's some sort of physical, you've been feeling a certain way about a certain part of your body that you're like, something's not right here. And you've been, it's that it being in your head has been holding you back. I don't think all that much, but it's taking up space is my point. So I think that's going to be, again, that's going to be released. Not only are you going to be able to take care of yourself, but the space that your concern takes up in your head, that's going to be gone too. And it's going to be replaced by a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of progress, prosperity. It's all good, Aquarius, right? So then here we have the superpower for the new year, this kind of strange Five of Cups coming out here, right? We have the Nine of Swords and the Hangman that came out with that energy. Nine of Swords and the Hangman. So you see here, you're able to get a brand new perspective. Well, this is the Hanged Woman, actually, in this deck. I appreciate that. The Hanged Woman. You all are able to get a new perspective on what caused you so much pain last year, right? With the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords coming out here. So once again, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, and Ten of Swords. This cycle is done, Aquarius. It's over. Finito, it's complete, okay? You got to realize that. But so your superpower for the new year is gaining a new perspective and about what, there was something, some sort of mourning, some sort of loss. Again, I feel like it has to do, it's connected with the Strength to a Cups energy, kept you up at night. You had anxiety, felt like you were clawing at the walls. I almost get a sense of you feeling trapped last year. Literally physically trapped, like you were in an environment that you could not get out of for whatever reason, whether it be financial, you made a commitment, you were caring for a loved one, I don't know, a child, I'm not sure, right? Personal readings, so what that information is for. But something had you trapped, and your superpower for this new year is not only not getting out of those feelings, but you're going to have a new perspective on them. I feel like perhaps you're going to be gentler to yourself, forgiving yourself for, if you're like, God, I stayed in this situation too long. I think you're going to be gentler. And I think you're going to be gentler to whoever kept you trapped as well. Not that you're in touch with that person or that you ever want to see them again. I'm not saying that, or people. But this gaining a new perspective is going to be a good thing for you. And I feel like there's going to be something created from that, right? And then with the Ten of Swords here, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the fates, pardon me, the fates in this card. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't trip on this before. You know when I said here that there were entities messing with you that didn't have to be just one person? It could have been three. I said specifically 3 people acting together. So maybe it was. I don't know. Again, that's what personal readings are for. So if this is resonating and you'd like a personal reading, 2 ways to do that, Aquarius. First, be the first one to email me. Secondly, if you're not, I do offer personal readings, and so you can email me anytime about that. But yeah, again, the fates, luck is turning in your favor. A wish to make, wish to know, to feel that this cycle of betrayal is gone, because it is. The 2 tens, a cycle is over. right? And then because there were a few of these areas that I was a little more curious in. So the Ace of Pentacles, I pulled a few more clarifying cards, pardon me, from from another deck here. I can't remember what this deck is called. I'm sorry. But we got the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups, clarifying this Ace of Pentacles up here. So this Nine of Pentacles, you're going to be so prosperous, Aquarius. You're going to be able, I feel like most of you, I mean, Aquarius, you are independent, but you're going to be able to be more independent. You're going to be able to be generous with others and have more than enough left for yourself. You're going to be doing it on your own too. This is a card of like, she gathered all those pentacles on her own. She did it. No one gave them to her. Right? And that's you here. The universe is going to be giving you, right, these opportunities with the Ace of Pentacles and with this Nine of Pentacles coming out here. To me, Aquarius, that confirms that you see those opportunities and you are ready to meet them. You're ready to receive those gifts from the universe and you make good use of them, right? And what I feel like that does with the Seven of Cups, you're allowed to dream. You're allowed to look at more opportunities. This opens up a world of opportunities for you. I don't think you've been able to just kind of fantasize and think, oh gosh, what's that one thing? God, what have I wanted since for the past 10 years, I've dreamed of having blank. Like, you're going to be able to really up your game this year, Aquarius is. And then I pulled for this energy, because I was like, what was happening here with this, this negative energy, the devil. There was someone trying to get you to be codependent, right? Which was the energy I was picking up on here with this kind of, it feels like a sneaky Two of Cups energy. Honestly, this Two of Cups reminds me of the devil cards because of all the kind of horned symbolism for the crown chakra here. It's almost like it's blocked is what it feels like it's being weighed down. So maybe there were people here that were just attracted. It was just a physical thing. They were just attracted to you physically. And in your mind, Aquarius, you're like, how could that possibly be? My mind is brilliant. And it's almost offensive to you, actually, I think. Not that you don't hold your physical stature in high regard, just you're more than that. And you know that. So yeah, I feel like there actually this past year, people were trying to trick you into stuff because they saw something they liked. But it was superficial, right? And then I pulled out for this energy, because I'm like, what is going on? Like you wish to make Ten of Swords. Things are over. It's turning in your direction. We got the Knight of Pentacles coming out here. So I do see this being a slower process for you to kind of realize, to get over the betrayal and lean into this moving with the universe, right? It might take a few months. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, but what this also tells me is that it might have to be a methodical process for you. Like if you have a certain grieving process, go through that grieving process. Some people are very A, B, C, D about things. So if that is who you are, or this could be a suggestion on how to help you get over it. The Knight of Pentacles goes slowly. You could, if there are cord cutting rituals that you could do, that might help you to release this feeling of betrayal. Right? Because I don't think the wish to make is for it to go slow. I think what the wish here is to overcome it and realize. Also, wish here, something else here. It's not really a wish to make, but a message is that it's okay to go slow. The universe, right? The fates here, the card, it's going to ebb and flow. It's going to go up and down. So when it's down, that's okay. It doesn't mean that this betrayal is back. You might, there's some of you might connect this sense of low, whether it be low income, low energy, whatever it might be, with, oh God, someone's going to hurt me. Like those two things could be connected. So perhaps trying to disconnect those two, emotions might be helpful as well. At the bottom of the decks, we have the Four of Pentacles here. This Four of Pentacles felt very much, right? Remember I said it felt like you were trapped here. It feels like you escaped and this is what you took with you. And you're holding it very close because it's precious to you. There's something sacred. You left some sort of large community here, and it's almost like you could only take what you could carry. And again, very solo energy going in on your org. There was a hoarding mentality, but I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's because that's what you had to do. There was, at some point last year, you were living in like survival mode, and just, okay, this is what I have. This is what I've got. Like, I feel like financially you had to really almost budget down to the dollar at some points. Again, not this year. And then the bottom of the cup, here we have the Page of Cups. So maybe some new love, some new unions coming in. And underneath the Page of Cups is the King of Pentacles. Something that is prosperous, something that's stable, someone. Again, could be romantic, doesn't have to be. But these new unions and connections that you're going to make this year are going to be more stable. Yeah, the Nine of Cups, they could be the unions you've been wishing to have in your life are finally going to come in for you. All right, Aquariuses, again, I apologize for not pulling them all live. But this was your reading. This was your birthday reading. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to post a birthday love reading for you all as well. Until then, take care of yourselves. Have a great day.